gonna show you why I hate buying pre-sliced steaks from the supermarket. That was a tongue twister. First, we're gonna remove some of this fat that we can't use. I know it looks delicious, but we can't really use it. It's too thick. And that's kind of issue number one with me. So I went ahead and got rid of this part here. I know, it's like 20% of your steak right there. But it's just fat, and the butcher should have kind of fixed this for us, right? And then this part here, you don't want to remove too much. This part right here is actually kind of tasty, but there's a little section here that we can't really use. Okay, so that part's gone, and you should be left with something more or less resembling this right here. Now, for those that don't know, this is actually a ribeye here that I'm working with. Okay, so now it's kind of clean. It's not the best steak, I agree, but work with me here. Now we're gonna dab it dry. We don't want any moisture to hit the pan and then steaming your steak, and it's gonna defeat the purpose of trying to get a crust here. So there you have it, nice and dry. Now by this time I already had a cast iron warming up medium-high heat. So it was nice and ripping hot after a few minutes. Now by this time, I don't know if you have noticed why I hate buying pre-sliced steaks from the supermarket, but we're going to get to the thick of it soon. Once the pan was ripping hot, I added a little bit of oil just to coat the bottom of the pan. Now so far we followed pretty much every step that every video tells you on how to cook a steak, right? So we're laying the steak away from us so it doesn't splatter on us. But Chivo, you haven't seasoned your steak. Rachel Ray would have seasoned it 36 times by now. Shut the front door. We're about to add flavor here, and it's gonna come in the form of 2 knobs of butter and some rosemary. Now I don't want to add spices because they're gonna burn on the pan because it's ripping hot here. Yes, the rosemary is gonna essentially deep fry here with the fat, but it's gonna release its oils and permeate the fat, which is gonna in turn coat the steak, which is gonna in turn impart flavor onto the steak. And in case I'm saying in turn too many times, I'll just say it one more time. In turn. Later, we'll enhance that rosemary flavor, and I'll show you how later. And I don't know if you can tell by my tone, but I'm already getting frustrated because I hate buying pre-sliced steaks from the supermarket. Now resist the urge to flip or to look underneath the steak. Just leave it alone for a couple minutes here. Why? Because we want to develop a crust, a nice golden brown crust. Something similar to this, and this is the reason why we're in this big problem to begin with. We are all shooting for that crust. We are doing everything possible to achieve that crust. Every home cook out there is trying to do the same thing. The issue started way before you started cooking. We're going to follow the next step, which is baste your steak, right? We're going to make sure that the butter coats every single little crevice and part of this steak because that is the flavor. The butter, the rosemary is going to pretty much permeate the whole steak here. We're going to go ahead and let it rest for half the time that it took to cook the steak. So whatever time that was for you, that would be half of that. For me, it was about 9 minutes, so it's going to rest for about 4.5 minutes, which is another part of the problem which frustrates me with pre-sliced steaks from the supermarket. So what I'm going to do here, I'm pretty much going to get rid of the fat from the sides. We're going to chop that up separately. And I'm going to try to get into the eyes of the ribeye here. Now, this is the way I cut steak at home because there's some of us that like the fatty parts. So I leave a little bit of meat on the fatty parts. Some people don't. They just want the lean parts. So, yeah, do as you will, as long as you cut across the grain. So I'll remove the fat here from this side as well. And then I'll separate the 2 eyes here from each other. And then I'll check what direction the grain is going, and I'll make sure I'll cut across that. Now by now you've noticed we've pretty much followed standard procedure with steak here. Obviously everybody does it a little bit different, but the idea is still the same. The process is pretty much the same. And you may be wondering, why is it overcooked? I followed every step. I followed every step Chivo told me to follow. Yes, you did. You followed every step I told you. You followed every step every other YouTube video has told you to follow. You have followed so many instructions by this time that you should be an expert, right? But the thing is, it's not you, it's not the videos, it's not who you listen to except Rachel Ray. That's a problem. The reason why this doesn't work out, it's because it's from the supermarket and it's pre-sliced and it's thin. It's not the thickness that you want. It's thin. But guess what? It looks delicious. It's still juicy. It's not medium rare, but you know, it's a good steak. I mean, it's a good weekday steak. The lesson here is talk to your butcher. Tell him, hey, slice my steak a little thicker, maybe 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. And I'm enhancing my rosemary here by adding the salt at the end. I'm adding salt, I'm adding pepper at the end. There's nothing like freshly cracked pepper that's not burnt or charred. I mean, sometimes it works, but you know. Now I did all the steps that you should do on a steak, except for asking for the correct thickness of the steak. But was this steak delicious after all? So from a scale of 1 through 10, 10 being delicious, this steak was pretty much a